Alright, this is my sim racing rig. I have made some more changes to it. Anyone who has seen it before knows what it looked like, but I wanted to go over it in a little more detail, what I've done, and my thoughts on making a DIY sim rig. You see, of course, I've got two of my pedals overhead mounted. I'll explain that in a little bit. You see here I've changed the keyboard tray. It was over the steering wheel, but since I've actually raised the steering wheel from its previous location, the keyboard tray wouldn't work because it would be blocking my view. So what I've done is used a 1.5 T with a reducer down to 1-inch pipe and basically made a very easy to use swing arm so the entire keyboard can be moved back out of the way, because as you can see, this I have to race in my bedroom. So give me a minute to pull some things out of the way and we'll go over this in more detail. Alright, as you can see, it's not that difficult to completely lift the keyboard tray out. And I'm going to go over this in a little detail here in a second. A lot of your DIY racing kits you'll see online nowadays, a lot of them are PVC based, which I saw one recently on Inside Sim Racing. It's a very popular design a lot of people are using, and they tend to glue them together, which I am completely against, for the reasons of why I'm even shooting this video today, because of the modifications to mine. This rig started as a wood platform in about 2006. I got sick and tired of my pedals shifting around on me, so I said, okay, let me make something a little more sturdy to mount my pedals to. And then I said, well, I'd like to overhead mount my pedals, and I'd like to have more of a roll bar design. So I built this out of PVC. The red painted parts, as you can see down through here, are the original parts of the PVC rig. Everything you see on here white are modifications. This rig started, this seat is a bucket seat from a 1985 Chevrolet Cavalier I got out of a junkyard for $25. $10 advanced auto part seat cover so it wouldn't look so hideous. I've mounted my surround sound speakers from my Logitech speaker system to the back so that I don't have to worry about them falling all over the place. I can get a good immersive racing experience. And I'm going to go over my pedals, how I've bolted everything together. As you can see, these are today's modifications. I actually raised the steering wheel higher to get it into a more natural position. I had raced with it rather low for a long time, and I finally got to the point to where I decided to do something a little different. And it seems to have worked out. My first race with the rig, I was doing well till I took myself off, but I did feel more comfortable. And I think that's the real reason behind building a sim racing rig, is you want to be comfortable. You can just stick your pedals on the floor and put your steering wheel on the front of the desk like some of them are built to, but just like the drivers in the real world, if you're going to do actual sim racing and be in longer events, you want to be comfortable. And that's what this is about. And as you can see, I screw all my joints together. And that's so that this unit can be taken apart if needed, because I've actually moved twice since I started building it. And also so that it can be easily modified. The rig that they built on Inside Sim Racing, the guy who put that design together, of course, recommends gluing everything. And once you glue PVC, good luck getting it back apart. It just doesn't happen. So this way, with screwing everything together, I use self-threading sheet metal screws, which of course I do still drill pilot holes because you don't want them to tear the plastic up. this allows for modification, such as when I decided to add these side stabilizers, which you see right here, these, to help give the unit a little more sturdiness. As you can see, they connect back here in the back below the seat. And it gives the frame a lot more rigidity. Also allowed me a mounting point for my surround sound speakers. You see up in the front, I've got my shifter a little lower. I feel that's a more natural position for me. But once again, that's what it's all about. It's about customizing it to fit yourself. Even the design on Inside Sim Racing, not everyone is going to be comfortable racing with their rig in that position, which is why I once again recommend bolting everything together or screwing it together instead, so that you can make adjustments. As you see right here, that's my mouse pad. I use a trackball, so I don't need a large mouse pad, but it's basically on a T up under the shifter. And you see, it just sticks right in there. You can remove that just as easily as the keyboard tray for moving the wheel around, moving the rig around if necessary. My pedals, of course, as I mentioned, I started this particular design so that I could overhead mount my pedals. But once again, this goes back into being able to customize it for you. As you can see, my throttle pedal is mounted to the floor. I had it upward mounted. You can see the holes there. And as I started trying to learn heel and toe downshifting, I felt that the throttle just wasn't in a natural place to get a good kick on it with my heel. So I took it and put it back on the floor, whereas my clutch and brake are still overhead mounted. And it gives me a really good feel for the throttle, even when I'm doing oval racing. It's a more comfortable position for the throttle, I feel. And definitely when I'm road racing, when I want to do heel toe, it gives me a good feel for everything. I have actual roll bar padding in places, and that's because I'm not small, and my legs tend to rub up against the plastic. Especially when I'm resting. This red piece right here, you see, my knee rests up against it while I'm not working the clutch. And basically the entire time I'm resting, my right leg is up against that side. So the roll bar padding helps out a lot with that. And then of course, leading to the front of the wood block that my pedals are mounted to, that's a piece of pre-drilled steel. It has holes in it, so I can basically adjust the angle. I didn't custom make that. You can pick that stuff up at Home Depot, already pre-drilled out. But I use it to adjust the angle of my overhead mounting system, or at least I did, because now I've got it in a place where I feel comfortable with it. I've got a few more things to do, a couple more screws to put in, a couple more wire ties to put in place. I just wanted to go ahead and get one race in with it, and give you guys a discussion of it and share my thoughts on screwing the frame together rather than gluing it. And I hope anyone who sees this, it helps you out with building your own rig. Thanks for watching.